place where the trade.
They're on Rightmove or Zoop.
Advance rental £1,794.
Forward, I have a go at centre forwards for not actually putting the goalkeeper on a little bit of pressure and letting him know he's there. Martin Atkinson was right by it, but he didn't get booked. So I'm not going to blame Neil Maupay. It's a physical contact game. I just think it's unfortunate Leno's landed badly, you know. So, and to be fair to Martinez when he came on, I was going to be critical because as a goalkeeper, surely you want to go and get the ball in that 5 minutes and have a bit of handling. But his first contribution was a brilliant save, low down to his right hand side from Aaron Moyes' left foot shot. So I actually think it's been quite a decent tempo in the game. I think it's been quite lively. You can tell why Brighton don't score many goals. I think before lockdown, in the 10 games they've played, they'd only scored more than one goal once. And you can tell because their build-up play is a little bit slow and they don't get it forward quick enough. Having said that, they'll probably get 3 in the second half now, I've said that. But I think, I just said to Dan there, from the bench, as the game sort of stretches out a little bit, it'd be interesting to see because Ceballos is playing in like a 3-10 role. will he put Mesut Ozil on for that 25 minutes in that role which he wants to play?
Well, I'm rubbing my hands together for that, wouldn't mind that. On the website, talksport.com, there's an option to listen with no artificial crowd noise, but we kind of like having your atmosphere with us here at the stadium. Game day on Talksport. It is Brighton 0, Arsenal 0. We're all set for the second half. Here's your commentary team, Perry Groves and Ian Danter.
Thanks, Adrian. Both sets of players are out. And there is going to be a change for Brighton at the start of this second half. Solly March is going to be brought into the fray. And he's coming on to replace Aaron Moy. I can only assume, Perry, that means there's a problem with Aaron Moy, because you normally wouldn't take him off as one of Brighton's more influential midfielders unless there was a problem.
Yeah, he must be injured, because he played okay in the first half over on the left-hand side, helping Bernal, trying to deal with Pep, and he's good on the ball going forward in and around the 18-yard box, so I'd imagine he must be injured.
You heard the blast of Martin Atkinson's whistle. We're back underway on TalkSport for the second half with Brighton wearing the blue and white striped shirts, blue shorts and white socks, kicking from left to right. Right to left, I should say, and Bissouma trying a right-footed volley from fully 40 yards out that lands in one of those scrims, the massive pitchers that have been draped over the seats all round the bottom tier around us here at the Amex Stadium. And Arsenal in their traditional first-choice colours as well this afternoon, remember, of red and white shirts with the white shorts and red socks. Emiliano Martinez on as a sub in the first half for the injury to Bernd Leno. Sends the ball forward from the goal kick. Mopé, the centre of that incident with Leno, heads the ball down. It's picked up by Bissouma for Brighton down the inside right channel. Mopé on the right wing, across comes Holding and slides the ball out of play for a Brighton throw that Mopé wants to take quickly.
It's a sharp start from Brighton, Dance, and when Martinez has a ball at the goal kick, you can tell that the full press was on, because Arsenal were playing it out quite easy, weren't they, in the first half? So you can bet your life at half-time that Graham Potter has told Mopé, Trossard and Gross to make sure that they push up and stop Arsenal playing out from the back.
Neatly done by Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang to stop Schelotto getting down the right-hand side. Brighton have Ryan in goal, Schelotto, Webster, Duncan, Byrne in defence. It's now March, Proper and Bissouma in midfield, with Gross and Trossard either side of Mopé up front. Trossard in possession now for Brighton, hits the ball left to right, neat ball to find the right back, Schelotto. Saka trying to get back at it, good pace from the Italian, and the ball into the near post, headed out by Rob Holding for Arsenal, who have Martinez in goal now in place of the injured Leno. Bellerin, Mustafi, Holding and Kolasinac at the back. Pepe, Guendouzi, Ceballos and Saka in midfield. Lacazette and Aubameyang up front. But as we've been saying, and as Perry Groves has been saying, particularly during the first half, Lacazette was the man through the middle, and Aubameyang was ostensibly playing as a left winger. 2 minutes gone in the second half. 0-0 on TalkSport Game Day. Arsenal have won the ball back after Brighton's throw looked to be causing problems. Here's Lacazette, just shy of the halfway line. Backheels it for Ceballos, who looks for Aubameyang, who's ridden the challenge of Webster. Aubameyang gets into the area left-hand side, tries to drive. It's spilled initially by Ryan, but he clutches hold of it before Lacazette can pick up the seconds, and it stays 0-0, and Aubameyang was close to number 50 there.
There's good counter-attack from Arsenal. Ceballos picking the ball up in the centre circle, just releasing Aubameyang. Got himself into the 18-yard box, onto his left foot, and tried to hit it across Matt Ryan. To be fair to Matt Ryan, it was a good save initially, low down to his left-hand side. It looked like the ball was going to spill away for Lacazette to tap it in, and Matt Ryan recovered and gathered the ball.
Free kick to Arsenal, just inside the Brighton half, ahead of the centre circle. We'll bring you team news, of course, in the next, 20 minutes or so from the London Stadium for our third exclusive commentary of the day. Clive Tilsley and Alvin Martin will be watching West Ham Wolves that gets underway at 5:30, and Clive will have the teams for you in about, as I say, 20 minutes time. Meantime, Bellerin with a free kick for Arsenal at 0-0 into the Brighton area. Bissouma can't get it clear. Saka picks up the loose ball, works it to the right-hand corner of the box, and Pepe looking to try a couple of step-overs to get away from Solly March. Giving back to Ceballos, who tries a first-time ball blocked by the backside of Pascal Gross. Bellerin picks up the loose ball, and he's won a throw off Trossard. 0-0, 3 gone in the second half on TalkSport.
That's better from Pepe. A couple of Michael Flatley footovers. Tried to go on the outside of his right foot, get his cross in. Got blocked by March. Came out to Bellerin. He couldn't get his cross in either. And now he's just thrown it back to Mustafi. And Arsenal look again to build up from the back.
Arsenal, who lost the only remaining unbeaten Premier League record in 2020 with that sorry performance up at the Etihad, losing 3-0 in the end. Brighton, if they can't win today, that will be 10 without a win in the top flight, equaling an unwanted record. Saka out to the left-hand side and Aubameyang for Arsenal, level with the edge of the Brighton box, looking to find a teammate. Who was that who went down? Kolasinac, I think, on the underlap.
The last time that you need a mole to come up and just trip you up as you're going to try and get the ball with your left foot down at the touchline.
I don't know whether you heard Adrian Duran laughing from a good 25 feet away from us, but I heard him.
Actually, that might be of age when he's had a couple of drinks. So that was like in installments, that was, wasn't it?
There's only one way to get rid of a mole. I'm not finishing that line. Back it goes to Matt Ryan. The pressure from Lacazette inside his own penalty area, and Brighton once again quite content to pass the ball around when there's plenty of red and white shirts on the press. And Dunk gives the ball to Webster, who hits an up and under out to the right-hand side, where Scalotto does well to keep it in play. And a lovely ball hooked over his shoulder by Kroos, finds Mopé, but that's a waste from Mopé. Passes it straight to Bellerin, and Lacazette had a bit of a nibble at his back from Dan Burn, who's on a yellow card and has got to be careful. But Martin Atkinson just gives Arsenal the free kick, 0-0.
He used his body well there, Lacazette. Just made sure that he stood his ground. He knew that Dan Burn was going to come and try and nick it in front of him.
Oh, Guendouzi, neat drop of the shoulder just to get away from his man for a moment. Now here's Bellerin, right-hand side. Has to give the ball back to Mustafi. He was pressurised by Trossard. Now Kolasinac, who just had that unfortunate moment onto the seat of his pants. Aubameyang, lovely ball down the left-hand side of the box. The offside flag goes up against Bukayo Saka, and it'll be a free kick to Brighton, but that was very swift and neat from Arsenal. But Perry Groves is looking perplexed to my left-hand side.
What is Martin Atkinson doing? Because Lacazette has just been absolutely clattered by Lewis Dunk. Martin Atkinson tried to play advantage, and it's gone to Saka, but there is no advantage because Arsenal don't have anybody in the box because Lacazette has just been absolutely kamikazed by Lewis Dunk. So why don't you pull the play back? No advantage, and give the free kick.
A reminder that Mesut Ozil is on the bench for Arsenal today. Didn't even travel to the Etihad on Wednesday. Also, Zek Medley's on the bench, a youngster who Arsenal got not so long ago from Chelsea. Get to take his bow in the Premier League. And the 5 substitutions allowed. Both have made one apiece. Brighton made theirs at the start of this half. Here's Trossard for Brighton, trying to flick the ball in field for the left-hand corner of the box. Good defending by Rob Holding. Chested it away and then volleyed it further clear. But it is a Brighton throw, 10 yards from the corner flag, left-hand side. We played 6 minutes of the second half. You're listening to Game Day on Talk Sport. No other radio station brings you all 4 Premier League games today through until 10 o'clock. A goal at the John Smith Stadium. Talk Sports Dave Rowe.
Huddersfield 0, Wigan 2. Wigan have doubled up. Anthony Pilkington scoring against his old club. The move was down the left-hand side. Robinson to Jamal Lowe. Ball across. Pilkington then took his time, took a touch, took a further touch, shot, took a deflection and went in. Huddersfield 0, Wigan 2.
Well, Aubameyang has the ball in the back of the net, but he was long since flagged offside after the ball was slipped through to him. We do have another goal in the Sky Bet Championship. I believe it's at Kenilworth Road, Kate Partridge.
It certainly is. It's Luton 0, Preston 1. It's sort of come out of nowhere, really, after 52 minutes. Tom Barkhazen, that's it. He picked up the ball on the left-hand side because there'd been a bit of a melee and the ball was sort of bouncing around everywhere. He picked it up. He found a beautiful pass down to Scott Sinclair on the left-hand side, who sort of amazingly ran into the area and slid the ball under Simon Sluga. So it is now Luton 0, Preston 1, with the first bit of quality of the game.
VAR in operation here. Martin Atkinson says no goal. A tight call as Aubameyang was played in, but the call is that it remains no goal offside. Perry Grove, sharp intake of breath from you.
Just on behalf of the linesman on our side, Dan, to be fair, because he took about 2 or 3 seconds to put his flag up, and then you look at the VAR, it's probably a foot, not a foot in distance, I mean an actual a foot probably offside. So it's a good decision in the end from the linesman on this side, and to be fair to Aubameyang, he went for it and finished it quite smartly.
Now Lacazette has just been shown a yellow card for clattering into Matt Ryan, another goalkeeper in the wars this afternoon on Talk Sport, after Bernd Leno got in that challenge with Mopé and had to be carried off with his right leg in a splint. Still trying to get some detail about exactly what the issue may be with Bernd Leno, but Lacazette sliding in as Ryan was clearing his lines from inside the box. But Ryan, the Aussie, back on his feet. Lacazette has a yellow card. And we're going to get back underway with the free kick to Brighton at 0-0. 8 minutes gone in the second half. on TalkSport. Remember, West Ham Wolves to come straight after this game. Faye Carruthers will be your host, Clive Tilsley and Alvin Martin, the commentary team, and then Nigel Adderley and David Connolly down at the Vitality for Bournemouth Crystal Palace, the late game on TalkSport. Aaron Moyes just come back out from the tunnel, having got changed at half-time to get back into his tracksuit to look on. He was substituted at half-time. Yves Bissouma, meantime, has been penalised for a foul, and Arsenal have themselves a free kick just shy of the halfway line. It's Brighton 0, Arsenal 0. A few Arsenal substitutes warming up. Is Mesut Ozil one of those three? No, he isn't. Of course, you can only warm up 3 substitutes at a time for any one team. Brighton have won the ball back. Sloppy free kick from Arsenal. Mopé for the Seagulls. Passes it field to Proper. Inside the box, right-hand side. Oh, Pascal Gross just couldn't quite get his feet together, but he did force Rob Holding to put the ball behind, which I don't think Holding really needed to do. Brighton have a corner away to our left at 0-0.
He panicked there, Rob Holding danced. He tried to just hook it away with his left foot, and he missed it completely, and he was under pressure from Pascal Gross. In the end, he decided that discretion was a better part of valour, just rolled it off for a corner.
Well, Gross will take the corner kick again, as he was in the first half. This will be a right-footed outswinger. The love train for Brighton is around the penalty spot. Byrne, Proper and Webster all there. They break as in comes the corner. Proper tried to get the flick at the near post. Arsenal get it half clear. March knocks it down for Bissouma, neatly flicks it on one more to Trossard. Now Gross on the right-hand side, whips the ball in. Up goes Dunk for a header. Good clearance by Mustafi under real pressure. But Webster wins it back for Brighton. Pascal Gross again to whip in a right-footed cross. Again, Dunk is the target. Drops for Mopé at the far post, who drives it straight at Martinez, and then Mustafi toe pokes it behind for another Brighton corner, 0-0.
Brighton's best passes are played down to look a little bit sharper in possession, getting the ball into box a little bit earlier from Pascal Gross on the right-hand side. Mopé just pulled out on the far post on left. Brilliant first touch with his right foot. Got it onto his left. To be fair to Martinez, he stood nice and big at the near post. Corner for Brighton on this left-hand side.
Solly March nearing a decade at Brighton and Hove Albion, preparing to take the corner kick. So a left-footed outswinger to come from the Brighton number 20. Deep to the far post. Byrne heads it back across the face of goal. Out to the edge of the box. Bissouma tries to drive, and it's a complete air shot. It does still break for March inside the area left-hand side. Driven against him by Bellerin, and it ricochets back into the path of Martinez, the sub-goalkeeper, who immediately thumps the ball downfield looking for Pepe on the charge, but it will drift out of play harmlessly from Brighton's point of view on the far side of the field. 11 minutes gone in the second half. On TalkSport, Brighton and Hove Albion 0, Arsenal 0. Ian Dancer and Perry Groves with you.
To be fair, that was unlucky for Martinez. That's like the fly off, wouldn't it? Sort of half scissor kick, wouldn't it? And just tried to drill it a good 60-70 yards. You saw Nicola Pepe on a 1v1 situation, and just actually probably hit it too well. Overhit it. Ball went out for a throw on Brighton's right back position. But I'd like to see Arsenal just mix it up a little bit more. Brighton have started the second half that's far better than what they did in the first half. They're just a little bit sharper in possession, looking to go forward a little bit earlier and get the ball into the box from the wide areas a bit earlier.
But it's still goalless on TalkSport. Earlier today, Watford and Leicester played out a 1-1 draw. Derby in the Championship, a terrific 3-2 win at Millwall. Brentford beat Fulham at the Cottage in one of those battles right at the top of the table. And Swansea beat Middlesbrough by 3-0 at the Riverside. Here's Lacazette coming deep for Arsenal to retrieve the ball. Finds Mustafi. Mustafi with a neat ball along the deck over the halfway line, and Ceballos will release Bellerin down the Arsenal right. Gets to almost level with the Brighton box. Ball goes infield to Ceballos. There's an Arsenal player down injured, Lacazette, who's just picking himself back to his feet as Aubameyang picks up possession for the Gunners. Goes down under pressure from Bissouma, who's given away a free kick. About 25 to 30 yards out, well to the left of centre. Chance for Arsenal to work the ball into the box here at 0-0.
He's got to just calm down a little bit, Lacazette, because he was trying to get himself into the penalty area when Bellerin had the ball on the right-hand side. It looks like Bissouma, looks like they're coming together. Quite clever from Bissouma because he sort of body checked him and stopped his run. And in the end, Arsenal got their free kick for a foul on Aubameyang.
Will be off for a goal in the Championship in just a moment, but there is a free kick here for Arsenal. Bellerin and Aubameyang standing over it. There's a 5-man Brighton wall being organised behind the old shaving foam, just inside the 18-yard line. Lacazette hands on hips in front of the goalkeeper in case there's any bits and pieces to pick up. Aubameyang looks the likeliest to strike. It looks like Bellerin's just going to flick it to his right to allow into strike. In fact, it's Ceballos that's going to take it now. Danny Ceballos, along with Aubameyang, out on that far side of the field. Ceballos does flick it to the right. Aubameyang with a right-footed shot straight into the wall, cleared away by Brighton. Let's get that goal in the Championship at Ewood Park. TalkSport's Don McGuinness.
Well, it's Blackburn Rovers 2, Bristol City 1. Tosin Adarabia with the goal for Rovers, curling it in from just inside the penalty area. But again, Daniel Bentley hasn't done himself any favours, just palming it in. Decent curling effort from the defender and a rare foray forward. As it is the opening goal to Bristol City, Patterson Evans equalised for Rovers, and Adarabia with a goal to make it Rovers 2, Bristol City 1.
Brighton attacking towards the Arsenal penalty area. March sees his cross cleared. He'll get it back though from Dan Burn. Onside down the left-hand side of the area. The cross is really deep and goes over the head of Scilotto at the far side, who's going to struggle to keep that in play, and indeed he won't. And Arsenal have themselves a bit of space and a throw as we've just passed the hour mark on TalkSport here at the Amex Stadium. Brighton 0, Arsenal 0.
Just a poor cross there from Solly March. Dad's had plenty of time on the left-hand side. 3 Brighton teammates along the 6-yard box and just overhit it, get it out for throw over the right-hand side. I'll make a prediction, Dan. If Pepe doesn't score in the next 5 to 7 minutes, I think he's going to get the hook.
For who?
Pepe. For Martinelli.
Well, Martinelli's been getting goals in all competitions, maybe not so many in the Premier League, but he's been hot to trot in European football for Arsenal this season, Martinelli. Aaron Connolly's going to be coming on shortly for Brighton. He was injured at lockdown, but he's back fully fit. He's going to be on, and so too, I think, is Martin Montoya. Indeed, he is. The usual first choice right back who joined a couple of years ago from Valencia. So a double change coming up for Graham Potter and Brighton. Meantime, 0-0 with an hour gone. One TalkSport game day. And Arsenal restart play with a throw. Lacazette volleys the ball from left to right. That's asking a lot of Bellerin, but he will keep it in play on this near touchline. Now he's closed down by Trossard. And under pressure from both Trossard and Mopé, has to go back to Skodran Mustafi, just ahead of his own 18-yard box. Now Bukayo Saka, who was lively early on for the Gunners, has faded a little as the game has gone on. Holding. One of 5 changes Arteta made today for Arsenal from that 3-0 defeat. Pepe goes down under minimal pressure from March, but it was a throw anyway, and this will allow the double change to be made, will it? And Connolly's just having some final instructions from the Brighton coaching staff. In the meantime, Brighton get things back underway. Bird up to the halfway line. Well won back for Arsenal by Bellerin. Now flick down the right-hand channel for Pepe to Hare after the ball. Pepe trying to get the better of Bissouma. Bissouma slides in well and puts the ball behind for an Arsenal corner away to our right. 61 gone on TalkSport. It's still 0-0.
We're tracking back from Bissouma because Pepe got the wrong side of him. Again, I think he should be driving to get to the byline. Pepe's tried to cut back onto his left foot and allow Bissouma to get the challenge in and for a corner for Arsenal right-hand side. Before that, when the ball was hit 70 yards cross-field to Pepe, Pepe is standing on the right touchline and he's offside. That is just lack of concentration.
Corner to Arsenal at 0-0. Pepe with a left-footed in-swinger, raises both arms. Aubameyang making a run towards the ball across the 6-yard line, goes deep to the far post. Burn heads it out for Brighton. Mopé giving chase for the loose ball, and he does beat Bellerin to it. Hasn't quite got to the halfway line, and across on the cover comes Ceballos to win it back for Arsenal. Still that double change being readied by Graham Potter down below. Ball's back with Emiliano Martinez, the sub-keeper for Arsenal. Lead ball swung out to this near side for Guendouzi. Guendouzi gets his head up on the halfway line. He's closed down by Trossard. Flicks the ball in field for Bellerin. Backwards to square it goes to Skodran Mustafi. Ceballos comes to pick the ball up inside his own half. Brings the ball over the halfway line. Looking for options left or right. Gets his head up and sees a diagonal ball to Pepe on this near side. It's headed up in the air by March, intercepting it well for Brighton. But Pepe will pick up on the loose ball, but he has to run back towards the halfway line in order to keep possession for the Gunners.
To be fair, it was good play by Solly March. He's filling the left back position. He made sure that the ball didn't get put in behind him. Nicholas Pepe to run onto.
Heavy touch from Aubameyang. One back for Brighton by Bissouma. Now Mopé looks to set Pascal Gross away. Charlotte going like an express train down the right-hand side, but the cross looks for the Belgian Trossard inside the area, but it drifts well over his head, and Mustafi clears the ball down this near touchline where Dan Burn gets a comfortable header in. You'd expect that against anybody out there, in this case against Pepe. And now Yves Bissouma driving towards the edge of the area. Mope with his back to goal now turns to face, tries a left-footed strike, and it's deflected behind for a corner to Brighton. And for the latest odds with the score at 0-0, head to the Betfair Exchange, the official betting partner of TalkSport's Premier League coverage, where right now the latest odds: Brighton at 100 to 30, Burlington 30, 2 to 1 on the Arsenal, 11 to 8 the draw. 64 minutes gone. Another corner kick to Brighton, and this time Pascal Gross will try another of those right-footed in-swingers after Mope's left-footed drive was deflected behind for this corner kick. Raises his right arm, Pascal Gross. Trossard then again for the short. Here comes the corner, well claimed by Emiliano Martinez, the sub-keeper. Incidentally, those odds all thanks to the Betfair Exchange. More ways to bet, more ways to win. 18 plus, begambleaware.org. 0-0. Saka for Arsenal. Down the left-hand side, finds Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang driving in field. 25 yards out, up to the feet of Lacazette. Tries to give it back to Aubameyang. Blocked behind by Ryan for a corner kick to Arsenal. Once again, Aubameyang and Lacazette trying to combine for Arsenal, but Ryan to the rescue for Brighton. Arsenal corner, 0-0.
Good link-up play again in that left-hand channel with Aubameyang and Lacazette. Lacazette just holding his ground. Aubameyang rolling it into him, following his pass. Nice little out from Lacazette onto Aubameyang's left foot, and maybe should be trying to get across Matt Ryan more of an angle, but it's a good save from Matt Ryan with his feet at the near post.
But it is a corner to Arsenal. Ceballos, right-footed in-swinger, right under the crossbar, headed out by Bird. Again, the tallest man at the back helps get the ball clear for the Seagulls, but Arsenal have it back, this time on the near side, the right, in the shaded area of the field. Pepe's cross, bit of a poor clearance from Bissouma, but the ball ricochets back into Solly March's path, and he does a little Cruyff turn to keep the ball away from Holding, and then gives it back to his keeper, Matt Ryan. Left-footed clearance from Ryan, won't make halfway. It's spooled up in the air somewhat, and then Bissouma goes down under pressure from Pepe, stays down. Again, the referee says we'll play on, and Pascal Gross has won the ball off Guendouzi and tries to release Trossard. Trossard has Kolasinac backpedaling against Scalotto, really striding forward down the right-hand side. He's not seen him, Trossard. Trossard looks for Solly March instead. March to the left-hand corner of the penalty area as Brighton press, clicks the ball to the far post. Scalotto heads it down straight at Martinez, and again, the goal remains to come for either Brighton or Arsenal. Scalotto with a downward header straight at Martinez at his near post, 0-0.
Real poor header from Charlotte, because as he's got onto the far post, all he's got to do is just head it back across goal, and Morpay just taps the ball into the net.
Pepe, right-hand corner of the penalty area as Arsenal attack. Tries a left-footed drive. Oh, Nicolas Pepe puts Arsenal in front with a lovely left-footed curling effort with a quarter of the game to go. Arsenal finally hit the front. They hit the woodwork in the first half, and Lacazette denied by Ryan, but Pepe, he stayed on the field, and he scored the goal to put Arsenal in front. Brighton 0, Arsenal 1.
Well, he won't be getting the Shepherd's Crook now down to leave, because you have to say that was a goal of the highest quality. Just picking the ball up on the edge of the 18-yard box in that sort of right-hand channel, coming on his favoured left foot. And to be fair, there was hardly any backlift at all, Dan. It was just a curler with his left foot, just setting the ball outside of Matt Ryan's top right-hand corner, just curling right over. Matt Ryan had absolutely no chance, and I've been obviously critical of Pepe in this game so far, but that is a goal of the highest quality, and he just shows what he can do if he put his mind to it. Brilliant goal. You have to say, on the balance of play, Arsenal deservedly going 1-0 up.
So Arsenal lead midway through the second half, and that means the players take a drinks break. Means we can bring you a goal in the Championship on TalkSport at Hillsborough. Alan Biggs.
It's Sheffield Wednesday 0, Nottingham Forest 1 against the run of play, but what a class goal this was, and what a rapier thrust it was. Matty Cash with a superb raking long pass, Joe Lolly with his pace on the outside, Wednesday looking for offside, but Lolly burnt them off, and then a precise whipped finish into the far corner. Classic goal, Sheffield Wednesday 0, Nottingham Forest 1.
Everyone likes a lolly in this weather. There's another third goal in the Championship at Ewood Park, Don McGuinness.
Blackburn Rovers 3, Bristol City 1. Rovers completely on top now, and this is a belter. Substitute Alan Armstrong just whipping the ball in, curled from the edge of the area, and this time Bentley no chance. He's not had a great game though. Adarabio and Evans for Rovers. Patterson with the opening goal of the game for Bristol City. Rovers 3, Bristol City 1.
So Arsenal lead Brighton here by a goal to nil on game day. Our next exclusive commentary is at the London Stadium, 5:30 kickoff. Let's get the headline team news for West Ham Wolves from your match commentator, Brian Tilsley.
West Ham returned from lockdown with injury problems. No Ogbonna, no Allaire, Snodgrass, Masuaku and Zabaleta out too. Declan Rice plays at centre-back. Jeremy Ngakia plays at right-back, even though he looks set to leave. Souček and Anderson are both back in the team. Wolves are at full strength. Johnny has shaken off an injury during the break. No place in the starting 11 for Adama Traore. It's 3-5-2 with Leander Dendoncker preferred in a stiffened midfield.
Thank you, Clive. Alvin Martin will be alongside Clive for that game on TalkSport. 5:30 kickoff at the London Stadium. Brighton now in possession, a goal down to Arsenal after that sumptuous effort from Pepe. Ball's down the right-hand side of the Arsenal box, but Kolasinac can just let that drift over the dead ball line. So the £70 million man from Lille has made the difference for Arsenal. And now this double substitution that Graham Potter was planning to make before the goal went in can now happen. And Pascal Gross is coming off to be replaced by Aaron Connolly. And Martin Montoya is also on. And Scilotto is making his way round the back of the goal on the far side of the field. He's the player that's gone off. So a like for like at right back, and Connolly's gone to play alongside Mopé in attack, Perry Groves.
Yeah, just a little change of shape probably, because Trossard was just trying to drop off of Mopé, wasn't he? But now I think Connolly will go a little bit further forward.
Emiliano Martinez with the goal kick for Arsenal. 20 minutes to go on TalkSport. Arsenal lead by a goal to nil. But Martinez's goal kick just drifts out to that far side of the field, just over the halfway line, and that'll be a throw to the Seagulls. Now looking that little bit more nervously over their shoulder at the relegation battle underneath them. Remember, they started the weekend only 2 points outside the drop zone. Byrne plays the ball infield to Prupper, plays a neat 1-2 with Lewis Duncan, can carry the ball into the Arsenal half. Trossard now playing out on the left-hand side, faced up by Bellerin. Thought about taking him on the outside. Lovely ball flicked infield to Prupper. Prupper drives the ball into the box. Mopé trying to hold it up for Trossard. Trossard trying to get the ball onto his right, then onto his left. Trying to flick it goalwards. It was blocked by Guendouzi. Now Guendouzi coming out to this near side is pushed over by Trossard. Free kick to Arsenal. And Brighton, they just can't get themselves into those final positions to get the shot away and put Martinez under pressure, Perry Groves.
Yeah, just lacking a little bit of creativity, and there's just a little bit of difference there what you see under Mikel Arteta, where in the past Arsenal used to let their opponents get too many shots in and around the 18-yard box. There, when Trossard tried to get the ball onto his right foot, you saw Guendouzi, Ceballos and Bellerin all go forward and block the shot, which hadn't been happening before.
You're listening to Brighton 0, Arsenal 1 on TalkSport with Now TV. Don't forget, you can watch West Ham versus Wolves live today with the Now TV Sky Sports Pass from just £9.99. Search Now TV. Ball's back in the arms of Matt Ryan as Arsenal's free kick downfield just bounced twice and straight through to the keeper, who could do nothing about Pepe's curling left-footed effort.
I think you heard me, Dan. We're playing on this. I think you heard me say you don't score in the next 5-7 minutes, you're getting a shepherd, sunshine.
The benefit of playing behind closed doors, eh? They get to hear you when they normally wouldn't.
That's when you know you're in trouble.
Kolasinac clears the ball downfield for Aubameyang. He keeps the ball in well, but has given up possession. One back for Brighton by Mopé. Now Prupper brings in Dan Byrne down the left-hand side. Trossard just nicks the ball back infield to Prupper. He's got Basuma square to his right, just ahead of the centre circle. Brighton trying to keep possession and work the ball from side to side. Now the ball's with Solly March on the far right-hand side of the field, almost level with the Arsenal box. Basuma thought about finding Prupper infield, but it has to go back to the halfway line, where Webster and Dunk square the ball to each other. Eddie Nketiah coming on shortly for Arsenal, and Joe Willock I think will be on shortly too for the Gunners. Meantime, Bissouma for Brighton. Finds Solly March on the right-hand side. Montoya's gone ahead of him. Cross comes in from March, lifted to the far post, looking for Trossard to volley a goal. Bellerin got his head on it and deflected it behind for a Brighton corner. Arsenal lead by a goal to nil with 17 to go on TalkSport.
A little bit better from Solly March on the right-hand corner of the penalty area, just getting the ball on his left foot, just trying to just whip the ball into the far post for Trossard. And to be fair to Bellerin, he made sure that his body shape was good. He got his right shoulder out and then just headed off for a corner for Brighton down on this left-hand side.
Solly March has come across to take the corner, taking it short to Trossard, gives it back to Solly March, inside the area, across the face of goal. Martinez couldn't get it, surely it's over the line, and the goal decision system works, and Brighton have themselves level, and I think it was Lewis Dunk that got the final touch to put it over the goal line, and Brighton have a precious equaliser in their bid to stay alive in the Premier League. Martinez couldn't hold the cross-come shot from Solly March. It's been toe-poked into the net, and with 15 to play, Brighton bring us level. Brighton 1, Arsenal 1.
Dan's Arsenal been caught out. The 2v1 short corner over on this left-hand side. You can see there, Solly March getting himself to byline, just rolling it across the 6-yard box. And just like Mustafi's on the, Rob Holding's on the goal line, he's tried to clear it. To be fair to Lewis Dunk, and he just put out a long right leg to stop Rob Holding getting it cleared off the touchline and just pushed it over the goal line to put Brighton back in the game at 1-1.
They've had a cursory check of VAR to make sure there was no offside. It's 1-1. On TalkSport, Brighton bring themselves level through Lewis Duncan. A hefty challenge from Bissouma on Lacazette. In fact, they both have stayed on the ground. The free kick's been given Arsenal's way. And Martin Atkinson's got something to sort out here because both benches went up. Both benches believing that either player on the opposite side was in the wrong to make the challenge, but Lacazette and Bissouma are both down on the turf.
Harry's saying,
what do you make of that?
From first looks, it looked like it was a foul by Lacazette on Bissouma, but I think Martin Atkinson's given the free kick the other way. It was an honest challenge for the ball from both players, just coming in at like a real difficult angle, like a 45-degree angle on each other. And it just on the follow-through, it looks like Lacazette has caught Bissouma. So there's no malice in there at all. An honest challenge for the ball.
But the free kick has gone Arsenal's way when we get things back up and running here on TalkSport with 14 minutes to play. A reminder that you're listening to Brighton 1, Arsenal 1 on TalkSport with Nissan Commercial Vehicles built to deliver. And there's going to be a two-man change for Arsenal. I mentioned that Eddie Nketiah was coming on. It was going to be Joe Willock as the other man, but now that Arsenal have been pegged back, Mikel Arteta looks to have had a change of heart pairing. He's got Kieran Tierney ready instead. Lacazette just coming to this near touchline, having had treatment. I'm pretty sure he's not one of those coming off, or is he? Because the board's about to go up. Indeed it is. Lacazette just bumps an elbow with Mikel Arteta. So Eddie Nketiah started the season up at Leeds United. He's on to replace Lacazette. Now we wait to see who Kieran Tierney is going to replace for the next change for Arsenal. Getting some final instructions from Mikel Arteta. Tierney, Bissouma will be able to carry on in a moment. Arsenal have had the free kick, they've taken it short. Bissouma wants a signal that he can come back on. He's been told by Martin Atkinson he can. So we're back to 11v11. Bellerin for Arsenal. Puts the ball against Trossard and wins the throw.
I don't understand that because
that's wasted a substitution chance for Arsenal. They could have all both on at the same time.
Well, that's Arteta's point. He said he wanted two to come on at the same time, and the fourth official was Keith Stroud, only allowed one to go on. So Arteta's saying, I wanted two substitutions, not the one.
Well, they've just held up the ball with Bukayo Saka's number on it, and now there's confusion. And Arteta, I don't think, if he can't make those changes both at the same time, he may not want to make it. So it's Tierney's hands on hips. If it'll roll a lino under each arm he's got there, Kieran Tierney wants to get on the field, but he can't because the substitution is, at least for the moment, not happening for Arsenal. Confusion reigns. Nketiah, he is on the field for Lacazette and picks up the ball left-hand side for Arsenal, down by the dead ball line, works it back for Saka. Saka down the left-hand side of the Brighton box. It's 1-1, remember, 12 to play. Saka gets inside the area left-hand side, tries to tee up Guendouzi, 25 yards out. Elects not to shoot. Instead, Bellerin works it to the right-hand side, and Pepe, the goal scorer for Arsenal, finds Ceballos at the byline, and a great challenge from Lewis Dunk to put it behind for a corner kick to Arsenal as they worked it from left to right. Dunk, who's just equalised for Brighton, doing his defensive job properly at the other end.
Yeah, it's a good play on the right-hand side. Ceballos getting himself to the byline. Really should be looking to just get his foot underneath it, dance and dink it to the far post. But be fair to Lewis Dunk, it was a good sliding challenge.
Here's the corner from Pepe for Arsenal. Again, the ball attracted like a magnet to the forehead of Dan Burn, as it has been for pretty much every Arsenal corner. Kieran Tierney, incidentally, just trudging back to his seat just to our right in the stand as Aubameyang tries a drive, pushed away by Ryan, acrobatically so, comes back to the area, and the offside flag goes up so that Arsenal can't pick up the bits and pieces. But Aubameyang let fly from 30 yards out, and it must have dipped and swerved in the air because the body position that Matt Ryan had when he punched it away was so awkward, but he got something on it, got it out of harm's way, and it stays 1-1 on TalkSport.
Yeah, Matt Ryan thought he was going to his left-hand side from Aubameyang's shot, and all of a sudden, just right at the last minute, Dan, it's just changed its flight and gone to his right. It was an excellent save from Matt Ryan because his body weight was going to his left-hand side, so he jackknifed back to his right. And in the end, they said there, I think, in the middle, it was flagged offside, but that was a top save from Matt Ryan.
1-1 on TalkSport, it's game day. 4 exclusive commentaries from the Premier League in a row here on TalkSport and nowhere else. 1-1 at the Amex. Good game this, it's got a decent climax in store with 10 minutes to go. Brighton wanting to do the double over Arsenal, but more importantly trying to put some space between them and the relegation candidates at the bottom. Arsenal trying to hang on to the coattails of the European qualification places. Not sure whether a point does either side the greater good. They're both going to be going for the win. And here's Brighton with the ball in the centre of the Arsenal half. Solly March turns away from Saka. Has to go back to Proper though. Webster beats Proper once again. Very heavy touch. Wasn't the easiest pass to collect. Bissouma tries to win the ball off Nketiah, who's coming through the halfway line. He's clipped by Bissouma. And that's a free kick to Arsenal. 15 yards inside the Brighton half. And the 2 number 8s in direct opposition, and Bissouma standing right in front of the free kick. Don't know whether he wants a yellow card, but he's doing his best to get one out of Martin Atkinson.
To be fair to Bissouma, Dan, his recovery is very quick, isn't it? If he loses it or gets caught in possession, he makes sure that he gets himself back goal side over to get a foul in.
Loose pass from Mustafi, almost saw Holding get the ball taken off his toe by Mopai, but Arsenal have ridden out that storm. Out on the left-hand side, it's Saka for the Gunners. Finds Aubameyang down the left-hand side of the penalty area. Saka once again, just drifting infield from the left-hand touchline. Sees Kolasinac on the overlap. Uses him as a dummy to play the ball infield instead to Eddie Nketiah. Back for Guendouzi, 35 yards out to the left of centre. Guendouzi sees Ceballos in centre field, unmarked. Ceballos gives it back to Guendouzi, and he works it back still further to Mustafi. Patient build-up from Arsenal at 1-1. Here comes Mustafi with a diagonal ball into the area, looking for Saka. Half-hearted volley, breaks for Aubameyang, space for a shot, and it's deflected wide by Proper for an Arsenal corner. Suddenly, the ball broke for Aubameyang, 12 yards out, but Proper flung himself at the ball, and it's gone behind for an Arsenal corner at 1-1.
Brilliant block from Proper, because Aubameyang just dropped his shoulder down. It looks like he hit it with his left foot, just dropped his shoulder, put it back with his right foot, and he had a free shot at goal, and he said David Proper there just spread himself. Got a brilliant blocking corner for Arsenal on the left-hand side.
Pepe to take it. In it comes left-footed outswinger. Mustafi goes up for the header. It does come off Dan Burn's head yet again. Ceballos will pick the loose ball up. Right-hand corner of the box. Deep ball to the far post. Down for Mustafi. Good save low down by Matt Ryan. Good strong header down from the German. But Ryan equal to it. Stays 1-1 on TalkSport. Game day.
Yep, the game's opened out a little bit, Dan. Both teams are looking for the winner, as you said. The 1-1 draws sort of not good for either of them.
Mopai does really well on this near touchline to find Bissouma. Bissouma gets away from Pepe, tries to give it back to Mopai. Can he keep it in play on this near touchline? He can, and he'll win a corner off Kolasinac away to our left-hand side. Good industry from Mopai. 1-1.
He's impressive, Dan, Neil Mopai, because in the first half he was feeding on scraps. When the ball comes into him, he holds it up well. Second half, Brighton have been a little bit further up the pitch. When the ball gets in around the 18-yard box, he's always on the turn. He's always looking to see if he can get himself on the half turn, get a shot away. There he's got his team corner on the left-hand side.
Solly March has only just now picked the ball up from in front of the advertising hoardings at that north stand end away to our left. Trossard standing there just near to him for a short corner routine. Ceballos keeping an eye on both of them, but it looks like it's going to be delivered long. Again, a love trade for Brighton by the penalty spot. 5 of them in a row. They break as the corner comes in from March. Headed up and out by Mustafi. Good strong header. Nketiah and Pepe trying to get the loose ball. But it's one back for Brighton by Montoya. Out to this near side, the left. Solly March. Lovely ball into Proper. Proper tries to chip Martinez and it goes over the angle of post and bar. And behind for a goal kick to the Gunners. 1-1.
That's a bad ball from Proper. Dad's in a brilliant position, the inside left position in the 18-yard box. And he's got Connolly and Mopai on the edge of the 6-yard box, and all he's got to do is just roll it across to try and pick one of them out, and he's overhit it. I think you were being very kind when you said he tried to chip Martinez. I just think he miskicked it completely, and it was just a poor cross in the end.
Dale Stephens is going to be on shortly for Brighton, just making some final preparations down just beneath us. 6 minutes to go on TalkSport Game Day, with West Ham Wolves to come, remember, at 5:30, and then after that we're off to the Vitality for another commentary game, Bournemouth against Crystal Palace. But it's 1-1 here between Brighton and Arsenal. Arsenal in possession with Saka just shy of the halfway line. It's going to be a 3-man change for Arsenal in just a moment. They're finally going to bring on Kieran Tierney, and they're also going to give Reece Nelson and Joe Willock a chance to win the game for the Gunners. I still say, if Barry Fry was still managing, he'd bring on all 5 subs at the same time. He used to bring on all 3 enough. Those new regulations wouldn't bother him at all. Here's Mustafi for Arsenal. Back to Rob Holding, midway point of his own half. Nobody really around him. He can guide him back to Martinez. Now here's Mustafi. Now he's faced up by Trossard. Here's Bellerin in field for Ceballos on the halfway line. Looks to release Bellerin down the right-hand side. He's in behind Dan Burn. Bellerin's cross from the right. Headed up and out by Montoya, back covering from right back. Ball bounces over the head of Trossard. Ceballos and Bellerin trying to pick up the pieces for Arsenal down this near side. 4 minutes to go. 1-1. Ball's out to play for an Arsenal throw. Does this signal the 3-man substitution? It does. So it will be Tierney and Willock and Nelson. But before that, Dale Stephens is coming on for Leandro Trossard. So finally, Saka comes off for Tierney. And no Ozil. Let's make that point with all these changes still. Mesut Ozil not required. Ceballos comes off for Willock. And Reece Nelson coming on for Pepe. We have a goal in the Championship somewhere on TalkSport Game Day. It's at Kenilworth Road, Kate Partridge.
It's now Luton 1, Preston 1, and it came completely out of nowhere. Simon Sluga, the goalkeeper, threw the ball, finding substitute James Bree, who headed off down the right-hand side. He cut in to find fellow substitute Callum McManaman, who blasted the ball home. With 4 minutes to go, it's Luton 1, Preston 1.
3 minutes to go here at the Amex on TalkSport. Brighton 1, Arsenal 1. So a triple change from Arteta to try and win the game for the Gunners. Tierney, Nelson and Willock all on. Willock immediately getting involved in the game. Gives the ball back to Holding on halfway. Shkodran Mustafi on the right-hand side. Fires the ball into the feet of Nelson, but it's picked up by the opposite number 24, Davi Proper. Proper under pressure from Nelson, turns away from him and plays a neat ball to Martin Montoya. Chance for Brighton to push forward here. There's definitely time for a winner for either side here on TalkSport at 1-1. Montoya outside of the field, and Solly March gives it back to Montoya, but under pressure from Aubameyang has to go back into his own half. Webster finds Dale Stephens just on in the last few moments or so. For Graham Potter's Seagulls.
Arsenal gone into a 5-3-2 with a left wing back, Bellerin on the right hand side, Bellerin on the right hand side, and Nketiah up front with Aubameyang.
And then you've got Willock, Guendouzi and Nelson as an attacking midfield 3. They've won the ball back, Arsenal, but only temporarily. Stephens slides into feed the ball out to the right-hand side of Montoya. Connolly and Mope both calling for it downfield, but Montoya's still in possession, faced up by Guendouzi. Tight to the right-hand touchline. March just holding, as all good centre-halves do, and puts it into the stand. Here's Tierney for Arsenal. Driving down the left-hand side. Solly March goes with him, gets to the byline. The cross comes in. It's half cleared by Brighton. Bissouma gets his head up and fires the ball downfield, asking Connolly to give chase. Martinez just outside his area, lets the ball bounce and calmly heads it down to Rob Holding to alleviate the danger for Arsenal. 4 minutes of added time. That's what we're into now at the end of this Premier League fixture, live on TalkSport. 1-1 between Arsenal and Brighton. Guendouzi for Arsenal, just in the centre circle, inside the Brighton half. Plays the ball forward 5 yards or so for Nketiah. He lays it off for Kolasinac. Kolasinac early out to the left-hand side, and Tierney. Tierney gives it back to Kolasinac. Guendouzi calling for again, just ahead of the centre circle, under pressure from Mopai. Good ball to find Joe Willett. Willett looking to drift towards the edge of the D, into the feet of Aubameyang. Aubameyang looks for Reece Nelson, and Nelson finds Bellerin right-hand side for Arsenal. Level with the edge of the area. Bellerin passes the ball along the deck into the area, and Lewis Dunk just thumps his foot through it. And Mikel Arteta desperate to get the ball back in play. Late goal of the man stand in the Championship, Mike Boville.
It's the equaliser. Stoke have equalised. Reading 1, Stoke City 1. Nick Powell with the goal, headed in after a corner just through a really crowded box, but Powell managing to find space in the top left-hand corner, gutting for Reading to concede in the 92nd minute. Reading 1, Stoke City 1.
Corner to Arsenal, way to our right, quickly to Hillsborough for a goal. Alan Biggs.
Sheffield Wednesday 1, Nottingham Forest 1. Connor Wickham with a thumping header as we go into stoppage time. Sheffield Wednesday 1, Nottingham Forest 1.
So this corner to Arsenal will be a right-footed in-swinger from Reece Nelson. Lots of players packed in around the near post. Kolasinac is in there, looking to get a flick on. In it comes from Nelson. Up went Holding, trying to get a piece of it. Headed clear by guess who? Dan Burn at the back for Brighton. Stays 1-1 in stoppage time. A minute and a half gone of a minimum 4 that Martin Atkinson has added on. Guendouzi for Arsenal. Midway point of the Arsenal half. Drifts towards the right-hand side. Support from Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Aubameyang with a left-footed ball into the box. Decent delivery. Headed down to the edge of the box, and Bissouma just launches it downfield. A proper Gary Owen that bounces once inside the Arsenal half, and it's ahead of that, allows Aaron Connolly to pick the ball up. Oh, he hits it against Tierney when he was trying to feed it through to Neil Mopai. Big chance for Brighton on the break, and they didn't take advantage, Perry Groves.
Kieran Tierney was in trouble there, because you said it was the Hail Mary that just bounced up, and he couldn't deal with the header. It came to Aaron Connolly. All he's got to do is miss out Kieran Tierney, and then Neil Mopai is in on goal on the inside left position.
There's going to be a change for Brighton. We've played 2.5 minutes of stoppage time. There'll be a bit more to add on, because Yves Bissouma is sat down inside the Arsenal half of the field. Run himself ragged this afternoon, Yves Bissouma, but the Argentine Alexis McAllister, who got a few minutes at Wolves last time out. McAllister joined last year, was loaned to Boca Juniors once he'd signed for Brighton. This 21-year-old will get just a couple of minutes out there as Bissouma is withdrawn.
Thought he played really well today, Bissouma. As you said, he sort of patrols that centre midfield area. He's always asking and always available to get the ball. When his team loses the ball, his recovery is very, very good. He gets himself back goal side, gets his tackles in. Just a no-nonsense sort of player.
So 3.5 minutes of the minimum 4 have gone, so it's up to Martin Atkinson to decide how much more we add on for that substitution that's brought McAllister on for Bissouma. 1-1 on TalkSport Game Day, deep in stoppage time. Blackburn have beaten Bristol City by 3-1. Big win for Tony Mowbray's men, and Bristol City's bad form pre-lockdown continues post. Proper for Brighton. Has the ball tight to this left-hand touchline. Just impudently flicks it over his head for McAllister. Early ball up to the edge of the area. Connolly flicks it on. Mopay's in! Mopay wins it for Brighton! What a brilliantly worked goal from the Seagulls! McAllister and Connolly, and then Mopay combined superbly inside the box. Arsenal are beaten. Brighton are going to do the double over the Gunners for the first time in their history, and it's their top scorer that's won it right at the dead. Neil Mopai makes it Brighton 2, Arsenal 1.
What a goal for Brighton, Dance. Goal of the highest quality, just a little ball into Connolly, just a little over. Connolly just flicks it round the corner to Neil Mopai. Then as he comes into the 18-yard box, Martinez comes out. Looks like he's going to smother the danger, but to be fair to Mopai, Dance, he just lifts it over him into the back of the net. Brilliant, brilliant finish from Neil Mopai. Really clever goal from Brighton to put them 2-1 up.
9th goal of the season for Neil Mopai, but more importantly for Graham Potter, that is almost 3 points in the bag for Brighton at home in this desperate bid to keep their heads above water. Martin Atkinson restarts plays. We've got a few minutes. One goal from the Seagulls! McAllister and Connolly, and then Mopai combined superbly inside the box. Arsenal are beaten. Brighton are going to do the double over the Gunners for the first time in their history, and it's their top scorer that's won it right at the dead. Neil Mopai makes it Brighton 2, Arsenal 1.
What a goal for Brighton, Dance. Goal of the highest quality, just a little ball into Connolly, just a little over. Connolly just flicks it round the corner to Neil Mopai. Then as he comes into the 18-yard box, Martinez comes out. Looks like he's going to smother the danger, but to be fair to Mopai, Dance, he just lifts it over him into the back of the net. Brilliant, brilliant finish from Neil Mopai. Really clever goal from Brighton to put them 2-1 up.
9th goal of the season for Neil Mopai, but more importantly for Graham Potter, that is almost 3 points in the bag for Brighton at home in this desperate bid to keep their heads above water. Martin Atkinson restarts plays. It downfield, a proper Gary Owen that bounces once inside the Arsenal half, and it's a header that allows Aaron Connolly to pick the ball up. Oh, he hits it against Tierney when he was trying to feed it through to Neil Mopai. Big chance for Brighton on the break, and they didn't take advantage, Perry Groves.
Kieran Tierney was in trouble there, because you said it was the Hail Mary that just bounced up, and he couldn't deal with a header. It came to Aaron Connolly. All he's got to do is miss out Kieran Tierney, and then Neil Mopai is in on goal on the inside of left position.
There's going to be a change for Brighton. We've played 2.5 minutes of stoppage time. There'll be a bit more to add on, because Yves Bissouma is sat down inside the Arsenal half of the field. Run himself ragged this afternoon, Yves Bissouma, but the Argentine Alexis McAllister, who got a few minutes at Wolves last time out. McAllister joined last year, was loaned to Boca Juniors once he'd signed for Brighton. This 21-year-old will get just a couple of minutes out there as Bissouma is withdrawn.
Thought he played really well today, Bissouma. Dan, as you said, he sort of patrols that centre midfield area. He's always asking and always available to get the ball. When his team loses the ball, his recovery is very, very good. He gets himself back goal side, gets his tackles in. Just a no-nonsense football player.
So 3.5 minutes of the minimum 4 have gone, so it's up to Martin Atkinson to decide how much more we add on for that substitution that's brought McAllister on for Bissouma. 1-1 on TalkSport Game Day, deep in stoppage time. Blackburn have beaten Bristol City by 3 goals to 1. Big win for Tony Mowbray's men, and Bristol City's bad form pre-lockdown continues post. Proper for Brighton. Has the ball tight to this left-hand touchline, just impudently flicks it over his head for McAllister. Early ball up to the edge of the area. Connolly flicks it on. Mopé's in! Mopé wins it for Brighton! What a brilliantly worked goal from the Seagulls! McAllister and Connolly and then Mopé combined superbly inside the box. Arsenal are beaten. Brighton are going to do the double over the Gunners for the first time in their history, and it's their top scorer that's won it right at the dead. Neil Mopé makes it Brighton 2, Arsenal 1.
What a goal for Brighton, Dads. Goal of the highest quality, just a little ball into Connolly, just a little over. Connolly just flicks it round the corner to Neil Mopé. Then as he comes into the 18-yard box, Martinez comes out. Looks like he's going to smother the danger, but to be fair to Mopé, Dan, he just lifts it over him into the back of net. Brilliant, brilliant finish from Neil Mopé. Really clever goal from Brighton to put them 2-1 up.
9th goal of the season for Neil Mopé, but more importantly for Graham Potter, that is almost 3 points in the bag for Brighton at home in this desperate bid to keep their heads above water. Martin Atkinson restarts plays. The double over the Gunners for the first time in their history, and it's their top scorer that's won it right at the dead. Neil Mopé makes it Brighton 2, Arsenal 1.
What a goal for Brighton, Dads. Goal of the highest quality, just a little ball into Connolly, just a little over. Connolly just flicks it round the corner to Neil Mopé. Then as he comes into the 18-yard box, Martinez comes out. Looks like he's going to smother the danger, but to be fair to Mopé, Dan, he just lifts it over him into the back of net. Brilliant, brilliant finish from Neil Mopé. Really clever goal from Brighton to put them 2-1 up.
9th goal of the season for Neil Mopé, but more importantly for Graham Potter, that is almost 3 points in the bag for Brighton at home in this desperate bid to keep their heads above water. Martin Atkinson restarts plays.
He played really well today, Basuma. Dan, as you said, he sort of patrols that centre midfield area. He's always asking and always available to get the ball. When his team loses the ball, his recovery is very, very good. He gets himself back goal side, gets his tackles in. Just a no-nonsense sort of player.
So 3.5 minutes of the minimum 4 have gone, so it's up to Martin Atkinson to decide how much more we add on for that substitution that's brought McAllister on for Bissouma. 1-1 on TalkSport Game Day, deep in stoppage time. Blackburn have beaten Bristol City by 3-1. Big win for Tony Mowbray's men, and Bristol City's bad form pre-lockdown continues post. Proper for Brighton. Has the ball tight to this left-hand touchline, just impudently flicks it over his head for McAllister. Early ball up to the edge of the area. Connolly flicks it on. Mopé's in! Mopé wins it for Brighton! What a brilliantly worked goal from the Seagulls! McAllister and Connolly and then Mopé combined superbly inside the box. Arsenal are beaten. Brighton are going to do the double over the Gunners for the first time in their history, and it's their top scorer that's won it right at the dead. Neil Mopé makes it Brighton 2, Arsenal 1.
What a goal for Brighton, Dads. Goal of the highest quality, just a little ball into Connolly, just a little over. Connolly just flicks it round the corner to Neil Mopé. Then as he comes into the 18-yard box, Martinez comes out. Looks like he's going to smother the danger, but to be fair to Mopé, Dan, he just lifts it over him into the back of net. Brilliant, brilliant finish from Neil Mopé. Really clever goal from Brighton to put them 2-1 up.
9th goal of the season for Neil Mopé, but more importantly for Graham Potter, that is almost 3 points in the bag for Brighton at home in this desperate bid to keep their heads above water. Martin Atkinson restarts plays. The double over the Gunners for the first time in their history, and it's their top scorer that's won it right at the dead. Neil Mopé makes it Brighton 2, Arsenal 1.
What a goal for Brighton, Dance. Goal of the highest quality, just a little ball into Connolly, just a little over. Connolly just flicks it round the corner to Neil Mopai. Then as he comes into the 18-yard box, Martinez comes out. Looks like he's going to smother the danger, but to be fair to Mopai, Dance, he just lifts it over him into the back of the net. Brilliant, brilliant finish from Neil Mopai. Really clever goal from Brighton to put them 2-1 up.
9th goal of the season for Neil Mopai, but more importantly for Graham Potter, that is almost 3 points in the bag for Brighton at home in this desperate bid to keep their heads above water. Martin Atkinson restarts plays. Juniors once he'd signed for Brighton. This 21-year-old will get just a couple of minutes out there as Bissouma is withdrawn.
Thought he played really well today, Bissouma. Dan, as you said, he sort of patrols that centre midfield area. He's always asking and always available to get the ball. When his team loses the ball, his recovery is very, very good. He gets himself back goal side, gets his tackles in. Just a no-nonsense sort of player.
So 3.5 minutes of the minimum 4 have gone, so it's up to Martin Atkinson to decide how much more we add on for that substitution that's brought McAllister on for Bissouma. 1-1 on TalkSport Game Day, deep in stoppage time. Blackburn have beaten Bristol City by 3-1. Big win for Tony Mowbray's men, and Bristol City's bad form pre-lockdown continues post. Proper for Brighton. Has the ball tight to this left-hand touchline, just impudently flicks it over his head for McAllister. Early ball up to the edge of the area. Connolly flicks it on. Mopay's in! Mopay wins it for Brighton! What a brilliantly worked goal from the Seagulls! McAllister and Connolly, and then Mopay combined superbly inside the box. Arsenal are beaten. Brighton are going to do the double over the Gunners for the first time in their history, and it's their top scorer that's won it right at the death. Neil Mopai makes it Brighton 2, Arsenal 1.
What a goal for Brighton, Dance. Goal of the highest quality, just a little ball into Connolly, just a little over. Connolly just flicks it round the corner to Neil Mopai. Then as he comes into the 18-yard box, Martinez comes out. Looks like he's going to smother the danger, but to be fair to Mopai, Dan, he just lifts it over him into the back of the net. Brilliant, brilliant finish from Neil Mopai. Really clever goal from Brighton to put them 2-1 up.
9th goal of the season for Neil Mopai, but more importantly for Graham Potter, that is almost 3 points in the bag for Brighton at home in this desperate bid to keep their heads above water. Martin Atkinson restarts plays.
then today. Bar, brilliant effort from the youngster.
And there he is again.
Yeah. Sent flying by Gross. Is Aubameyang's found a lovely ball. Lacazette, can he finish it? Brilliant way. Burn overlapping. Corner.
Worked it nicely there, Brighton. From the edge of their own box.
It is Gross who takes it. Too deep for everybody. Guendouzi putting it behind. Cut. Looking to bend one, and he's hit the bar. Brilliant effort from the youngster.
And there he is again.
Yeah. Sent flying by Gross.
So Jasper Cillessen, some of the midfielders, Dani Parejo. Well, when he has a... It was Insway getting... will come out. Eden Hazard back out there.
2020. Let's have a look at the team news for you then today. Brighton haven't played for 112 days since a useful draw at Wolves on March the 7th. They make two changes from the team that day. The Italian Ezekiel Scalotto is preferred to Martin Montoya at right back, and the playmaker Pascal Gross gets the vote over Solly March further forward. Key defender Lewis Dunk is one booking away from a two-match ban. Arsenal are hit by problems in defence, with David Luiz suspended and injured. Gross with the corner kick. Immediately is going to be a stoppage there, and nasty clash of heads.
Kolasinac is it? Very brave header, gets in there. That's what he's in that near
10 this season. Now then, Aubameyang! Not got his shooting boots on yet. To his cut. Looking to bend one, and he's hit the bar. Brilliant effort from the youngster.
And there he is again.
Yeah. Sent flying by Gross. Is Aubameyang's found a lovely ball. Lacazette, can he finish it? Brilliant way. Burn overlapping. Corner.
Worked it nicely there, Brighton. From the edge of their own box.
It is Gross who takes it. Too deep for everybody. Guendouzi putting it behind. Cut. Looking to bend one, and he's hit the bar. Brilliant effort from the youngster.
And there he is again.
Yeah. Sent flying by Gross. Side here, who are the only team in all four divisions yet to win in the league in 2020. Let's have a look at the team news for you then today. Brighton haven't played for 112 days since a useful draw at Wolves on March the 7th. They make two changes from the team that day. The Italian Ezekiel Scalotto is preferred to Martin Montoya at right back, and the playmaker Pascal Gross gets the vote over Solly March further forward. Key defender Lewis Dunk is one booking away from a two-match ban. Arsenal are hit by problems in defence, with David Luiz suspended and injured. Gross with the corner kick. Immediately is going to be a stoppage there, and nasty clash of heads.
Kolasinac is it? Very brave header, gets in there. That's what he's in that near
10 this season. Now then, Aubameyang! Not got his shooting boots on yet. To his cut. Looking to bend one, and he's hit the bar. Brilliant effort from the youngster.
And there he is again.
Yeah. Sent flying by Gross. Is Aubameyang's found a lovely ball. Lacazette, can he finish it? Brilliant way. Burn overlapping. Corner.
Worked it nicely there, Brighton. From the edge of their own box.
It is Gross who takes it. Too deep for everybody. Gendouzi putting it behind. Aka looking to bend one, and he's hit the bar. Brilliant effort from the youngster.
And there he is again.
Yeah. Sent flying by Gross.
So Jasper Cillessen of the midfielders, Danny Parejo. Well, when he has a... Unsue getting... will come out.
Side here, who are the only team in all 4 divisions yet to win in the league in 2020. Let's have a look at the team news for you then today. Brighton haven't played for 112 days since a useful draw at Wolves on March the 7th. They make 2 changes from the team that day. The Italian Ezekiel Scalotto is preferred to Martin Montoya at right back, and the playmaker Pascal Gross gets the vote over Solly March further forward. Key defender Lewis Stunk is 1 booking away from a 2-match ban. Arsenal are hit by problems in defence, with David Luiz suspended and injured. Gross with the corner kick. Immediately is going to be a stoppage there, and nasty clash of heads.
Kolasinac is it? Very brave header, gets in there, that's what he's in that near.
10 this season. Now then, Aubameyang! Not got his shooting boots on yet. To his cut. Looking to bend one, and he's hit the bar. Brilliant effort from the youngster.
And there he is again.
Yeah. Sent flying by Gross. Is Aubameyang's found a lovely ball. Lacazette, can he finish it? Brilliant work. Burn overlapping. Corner.
Works it nicely there, Brighton. From the edge of their own box.
It is Gross who takes it. Too deep for everybody. Gendouzi putting it behind. Aka looking to bend one, and he's hit the bar. Brilliant effort from the youngster.
And there he is again.
Yeah. Sent flying by Gross.
So Jasper
Side here, who are the only team in all 4 divisions yet to win in the league in 2020. Let's have a look at the team news for you then today. Brighton haven't played for 112 days since a useful draw at Wolves on March the 7th. They make 2 changes from the team that day. The Italian Ezekiel Scalotto is preferred to Martin Montoya at right back, and the playmaker Pascal Gross gets the vote over Solly March further forward. Key defender Lewis Stunk is 1 booking away from a 2-match ban. Arsenal are hit by problems in defence, with David Luiz suspended and injured. Gross with the corner kick. Immediately is going to be a stoppage there, and nasty clash of heads.
Kolasinac is it? Very brave header, gets in there, that's what he's in that near.
10 this season. Now then, Aubameyang! Not got his shooting boots on yet. To his cut. Looking to bend one, and he's hit the bar. Brilliant effort from the youngster.
And there he is again.
Yeah. Sent flying by Gross. Is Aubameyang's found a lovely ball. Lacazette, can he finish it? Brilliant work. Burn overlapping. Corner.
Works it nicely there, Brighton. From the edge of their own box.
It is Gross who takes it. Too deep for everybody. Gendouzi putting it behind. Aka looking to bend one, and he's hit the bar. Brilliant effort from the youngster.
And there he is again.
Yeah. Sent flying by Gross.
Well, Jasper Cillessen, some of the
side here, who are the only team in all 4 divisions yet to win in the league in 2020. Let's have a look at the team news for you then today. Brighton haven't played for 112 days since a useful draw at Wolves on March the 7th. They make 2 changes from the team that day. The Italian Ezekiel Scalotto is preferred to Martin Montoya at right back, and the playmaker Pascal Gross gets the vote over Solly March further forward. Key defender Lewis Stunk is 1 booking away from a 2-match ban. Arsenal are hit by problems in defence, with David Luiz suspended and injured. Gross with the corner kick. And immediately is going to be a stoppage there, a nasty clash of heads.
Kolasinac is it? Very brave header, gets in there, that's what he's in that near.
10 this season. Now then, Aubameyang! Not got his shooting boots on yet. To his cut. Looking to bend one, and he's hit the bar. Brilliant effort from the youngster.
And there he is again.
Yeah. Sent flying by Gross. Is Aubameyang. He's found a lovely ball. Lacazette, can he finish it? Brilliant work. Burn overlapping. Corner.
Works it nicely there, Brighton. From the edge of their own box.
It is Gross who takes it. Too deep for everybody. Guendouzi putting it behind. Cut. Looking to bend one, and he's hit the bar. Brilliant effort from the youngster.
And there he is again.
Yeah. Sent flying by Gross.